I just like Harry Kane. I like Harry Kane because maybe that's all I can think of. And I see them singing after the game.
Be the one to save me and wonder why. You
That's amazing, eh?
wonder why.
Welcome to episode Turn the 6 Upside Down. It's a 9 now of Target Score Brampton podcast. I'm your host, Matt. He's your host, DMZ Denung Ball Sarah. You can follow Target Score Pod on Instagram, Target Score Podcast on YouTube. New episodes every Wednesday and constant content on the grams. You can also check out Target Score Winnipeg with Joey Slattery and Taylor Not Teddy Allen, and Target Score Vancouver with Chris Wiggins and Andrew Savory. D, our special guest today, Trentyn Flowers. We're not even going to tease this. Just going to tell you right off the top. Trentyn Flowers, insert here.
Yes, exciting guest. He's made quite the splash in his 2 games of debut. But listen, are we just going to skip over the fact that you haven't been here for the last 2 episodes? You're going to tell the people how your sabbatical went over out west?
First of all, I also I'm in like a different location now, and I love like the sun coming in here. I had someone last time, I think when I recorded here, someone said, "You look like you get a sunburn." I'm like, dude, I don't burn, man. I never burn. This is just the light. It's the exposure, whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I missed the last couple episodes. I was out west with my buddies doing a little FIFA trip there. Experienced some of the Canada game stuff fun, or the fun there, which was awesome. I will say, hands down, the biggest event Canada has ever hosted sports-wise.
Right.
Or like ever been a
you
part of.
actually went to a game, right? It
was
wasn't fan fest. It was a watch party. You went to an actual game.
The whole thing was like crazy, man. Like you go top to bottom, like you show up at, I want to say like 7 a.m. People are drinking. If the game was at like, I don't know, 12 or whatever it was, 1, people are drinking. And then it's like, okay, we're going to ease up a little bit. But then it's like, well, people still drink. And it's like, okay, well, maybe we're going to ease up walking into kickoff. Their flares and everything. Like it's like people are still drinking. So then it turned into a whole like darty, basically, day party for those kids that didn't go to a frat school. But basically, yeah, it was crazy, man. Like the amount of dedication, and I hate to use the word patriotism, but like it just like, it was so nice to see all these people buying in to something that I feel like, frankly, no one has any clue about. Like the average FIFA viewer to me right now in Canada is like a 35-year-old hockey parent that has no idea what's going on, but they're just into it. It's like the Jays 2016 run. There were 2 types of fans. The diehard baby boomers that actually wanted to see a World Series and could name more than one pitcher in the rotation. And then those outside of it who were just happy to be there. And there's nothing wrong with it, but it made me appreciate genuine, true soccer fans. Like I'm watching all this TSN coverage, and these guys are like getting emotional on the panel about how much this means to the country and this and that. It's just cool. And I truly believe too that nothing brings people together more than soccer. As crazy as that is. All you need is a ball to play. It is like a universal sport. Everyone and their brother has played it at some point or been involved in a game of soccer. It teaches you about, the saying always goes, when you watch someone play basketball, you can learn who they are as a person. Well, I think soccer is the same thing. And I think everybody who plays soccer are the nicest people in the world. So it's cool to see the fans buy into it, the players involved, like Ronaldo in Toronto the other day saying Toronto was like one of the greatest cities he's ever been to. Like, dude, tell that guy to go park his backside on the 403 at like 5 o'clock and tell me how good it is. But the idea being, at least it was accepted well, and the players liked it too. So honestly, dude, yeah, out west was great. I was there for roughly like 2 weeks-ish. Did some outdoor stuff, went to Washington and Oregon, hit those 2 states, and then spent some time in Vancouver with my buddies. I love it out there. Pacific Northwest is like my favorite area. It's like clean, you can breathe, and you get to watch FIFA. So it was a ton of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, you just gave us a full monologue. Jeez, you broke it all down for us.
Dude,
No, I really appreciate that. If you're watching the video, you probably saw me pulling up my phone and trying to find something. So I got this tweet that I saw that perfectly encapsulates what you said. I saw this from Alex Wong. He's he's got a podcast with Lou Will, good guys, friends of mine on the Hello Welcome pod. If you're not familiar with them, they talk all things hoops as well. And he retweeted a tweet that says, "I don't understand why I've never followed soccer." And then he retweeted and said, quote tweeted and said, I do this every World Cup. And then 2 weeks later, when it's time to wake up on a Saturday morning and watch Man City take on Fulham, I'm like, nah, I'm good. And I'm like the same way. Like, I'm so captivated by soccer. I'm so locked in. I've watched the most soccer I've probably watched in the last 4 years because, again, this thing shows up every 4 years. And I tell myself, like, why am I not into this sport more? And this thing will end, and I'll probably never watch soccer again. And like, that's not to offend the soccer fans or downplay the sport itself. I just can't get into it. But there's just something about following these countries, the passionate fan bases, and the fact that it just brings not normal sports fans or just the casual watchers in this game, and just brings everyone together and ties everyone together. You just can't help but take part in it. Like, it's funny that you talked about how people jumped on the World Series bandwagon when it happened, and people becoming baseball fans. Like, it's funny that I've talked to people this year and they're like, yeah, I now watch baseball because I couldn't help but be captivated by what happened during that postseason run. And it's funny now. I know people that are talking about countries they probably don't have any affiliation or association with, and they're like, yeah, this is my team. Like, Norway's my team because their best player looks like a Viking, and I like how they row everywhere they go. They'll hop up in a bus or train in Manhattan in New York and start to row, and it's cool that it has that effect, and it unites all of us.
And the cool thing too, on top of all that, is every country has like a superstar. Like, soccer is such a global sport that almost every country you look at, it's like, yeah, you could follow soccer religiously, or football, sorry. You could follow it religiously and know every player. You could also follow it on the surface level and you still know these names. Like Erling
Right.
Haaland, like that's obviously one of the biggest players in the world. But like Norway, so many, like you said it perfectly. So many people I know are picking Norway to go further than most teams because they love that guy. Or like obviously
Hmm.
Ronaldo, Messi, I don't know,
Kane.
like Kane, exactly. Like, there's so many guys, like, and you only need to know those guys to be like, yeah, I'm gonna cheer. Like, one of my buddies is a huge England guy. I don't think he can tell you more than 2 players on the team, but he loves Harry Kane, and he's an England guy because of that. And he buys in the most about as of any of our buddies on this England run right now. It's just awesome to see, and like that again, whether it's a small little tease or whether it's a forever kind of thing, it's just nice to see that like month of camaraderie, people coming together, having fun, enjoying themselves. And it's also cool to see all the different countries coming here. Like, I saw there was that FIFA visa that people from other countries could get. And you come here, you watch the games, and then it's like a very like easy transition to come and go kind of thing. Which again gives them the experience to watch something that they may never get a chance to watch in their own country. And also is a huge shout out to Canada making that work and allowing people to kind of come in and be the classic good hosts that we are. So it was all around. I think this is like a crazy good experience for Canada. And I know people are upset that they're not hosting more games than just the round of whatever knockout. But I'm like, you know what, man, just be happy you got some. You got arguably, again, I will say this, the biggest sporting event ever in Canada was Portugal and Croatia. I will
Mm.
go to the grave saying that. And it didn't involve a Canadian team. I will say for sure, like, if you gave me the views on that, I think that is the most viewed event in Canada ever. And I think it beats
Yeah.
the World Series. I think it beats the Raptors final. Like, I think like
In terms of
how
viewership, right? And just the
yeah,
global impact. Yes. Yes.
yeah. Like,
I
I
agree with
think
you.
easily that is like the most, like, I said that to somebody the other day and they were like, well, that's not right. I'm like, what beats soccer?
Mhm.
Like, dude, nothing. Like, what about the guy, one of the goalie? Was he on Cape Verde or something? He had like
Yes.
45,000 followers on Insta, and then ended up with like
22 million or
19 million
something.
or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, dude, you're telling me that's not like so to watch again, for example, Luka Modric or Modric or however you say it, and then Ronaldo go toe to toe in their last World Cup battle here that they'll ever have. I don't even know if they've met in the World Cup before again. I'm a huge soccer guy, but I'm that 35-year-old hockey guy that's like, hey, kids, you want to go watch a game of something random at BMO? But to watch that, that's like Jordan against Bird kind of stuff.
Right.
And like to see that, I think that is the biggest mind blow ever. And I don't know, it was just cool. Like great city in Toronto to host. Vancouver was absolutely electric. Greatest city in Canada outside of Toronto, in my opinion. Wink on there. Just kidding. It's probably above Toronto. But just awesome stuff. Yeah, it was great. And then I almost got lost in the woods in Portland doing this hike with no service for like 7 hours. So that was also fun too. A little bit of everything on this trip. But anyway, soccer, Ronaldo, Luca M, not even going to say his last name. Great event. Good stuff, Canada.
Yeah, we'll save your Wood story for the after credits of this podcast, because I don't think anyone had in their bingo card that we're going to talk about football for or soccer. Sorry for
No,
10
no,
minutes
no,
of the
no, no, no,
podcast,
no.
but I do want to end it on, like, if you're not watching, I think you need to hop on the bandwagon, because like you said, very rarely do we have the best players in the game this deep into it, right? You talked about Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, the 19-year-old kid from Spain, Kane, Salah. Like, it's like the deepest field yet, and you don't usually get this many stars go deep through. So yeah, get in on it if you haven't already, because it's going to be an electric finish, to say the least. So, but speaking of electric, we got some electric additions to the Brampton Honey Badgers. 2 games into their debut as well. I'll let you tee it off and do what you do.
Yeah, I don't have the record behind me right now because, again, makeshift setup here, but 8-7 are the Brampton Honey Badgers right now. So people are going to say, well, that's because you didn't want to put the losses up. Well, it's just because I don't have a play. You know how much trouble I'd get in if I put tape on that wall. So yeah, they've slipped a little bit. They were on a 5-game losing skid, and then that was snapped last Thursday. Without Sean East and Cam Tyson, they took down the Ottawa Blackjacks 81-76. And that was a really important game because we got 2 new pieces, the aforementioned Trentyn Flowers and Justin Hamilton, who came to play. I mean, specifically Trentyn Flowers, the story there, you talk to him, it's pretty crazy. He was like signed and then he kind of just showed up just before tip off.
Yeah, he showed up at 8 a.m. His flight left Seattle at 8 a.m. So he came from the West Coast just like you did. You guys didn't happen to run into each other, have your meet cute, but that's okay. And then he arrived at about shortly after 3 o'clock in Toronto. Hopped on a drive, got to the CA Center, I don't know, 2 hours ish before tip off. Got his physical. I mean, he had to pass his physical in order to play, and luckily he did. And he's coming off a knee injury, which he suffered in December, and he was on a 2-way with Chicago, I believe, and hurt himself and was let go, unfortunately. And then he said it in the post-game interview with me. Like, I've literally been sitting on my couch for the last 6 months. So to come back like this, it's crazy. And for someone that's missed that much competitive basketball and, playing in a 5-on-5 setting like that, man, he did not look like he missed a beat.
Yeah, it was crazy. I've never seen someone warm up with the lights out either, like that close to game time, where I'm like, is this like Michael Jordan in the beginning of Space Jam where he's shooting outside with like that single light out? I'm like, are we going to see like a Jordan performance? And we basically kind of saw one. 22 points, 45% shooting, 6 boards. He was great. He was like
Yeah.
pretty impressive. Yeah, that line about the couch thing was amazing to you. Like, I was sitting on my couch 6 months ago or whatever. Like, that was absolutely perfect. Another guy that was pretty perfect, Justin Hamilton, 19 points, 66% shooting. He had the target score time winner, a 3-ball in the corner. Those dudes, like, I mean, do you know how hard it is to take 2 guys? I mean, just one piece, but multiple pieces, and then throw them into something that's already kind of built and expect them to perform. And they did. I mean, that is Joe Razzo gave Jermaine Anderson Rock his player of the game for constructing this team the way he did. And I thought to myself, I'm like, you know what, Joe, you're always outside of the box and I love it. And I really love this one. I mean, being able to make these moves. And again, that's a shout out to the whole front office there. Al Whitley, John Ross, head coach Serta, Rock, like all these guys, Lenny, like they have picked the right pieces right now. And that game kind of gave us an idea of what they're capable of. You throw Sean East back in there and it's kind of a different team now. Like, it kind of has a weird kind of turn page feel.
Yeah, you and I had the privilege of talking to Al Whitley after this game, and some other members. I talked to John Ross before the game, and I'm really impressed with, we talked about this too, in past iterations of this team. If they hit a hurdle or hit this wall at this point in the season, they kind of would have continued to roll with what they had and roll with the punches. But this team has quickly pivoted and realized there were some flaws to this basketball team in the last 5 games, despite starting 7-1. And like, hey, like, listen, we want to get back to what our identity is, the kind of basketball we want to play. And that's why, you've seen some of the transactions that have happened whether it's letting some guys go, bringing some guys in, but they want to play a certain style of basketball, and because of that, they had to let some guys go because it wasn't following, the mold that they were trying to build. And so I really, really, really admire that, the fact that they didn't get complacent and just rely on Coach Serta to kind of make, what is it? Salad out of chicken shit. Am I saying that right? Something something to that effect. That saying.
Not eating any of that. I don't know what.
but I'm just really impressed that they brought these two guys that clearly have something to prove, and it's just crazy that in their debuts they both balled out. And I'm excited to talk to Trentyn and what enticed him about this opportunity and what trust and faith he put in Coach Serta to kind of rejuvenate his career. And I just was really impressed. Even the post game, he's just talking about his teammates, despite just met them. He said, these guys are the guys that I want to rock with. These are the guys that I want to win a championship after one game. And we saw Moncrief been able to benefit off of that. He had 9 and 9. In that last game against Scarborough prior to this, the offense looked really ugly. The ball wasn't moving, and despite shooting 38% from the field, they were able to dog it out and win this basketball game. And we saw 22 assists in this game compared to their average of 19. They obviously made some adjustments at halftime because it was 18. The rebounding battle, right? They're getting out rebounded early in that first half, and then they really came out and cleaned up the glass, and were able to make a difference. Put Isaiah Moore in foul trouble as well. He was someone that was killing them. They really made some adjustments to make sure that he wasn't the difference in this game. And I was just really impressed by the adjustments and how the other guys were able to step up. And it was, I don't know, for you and I, we were concerned and we're ready to raise the white flag, but after this game, we felt jolt of optimism.
Yeah. Trentyn Flowers also too, really cool story. We'll have more on that with him. Really cool journey as to how he got to where he is. Interesting kind of like Fred VanVleet bet on yourself kind of mentality. So there's your little tease there. I do want to say quickly, the move you were talking about in releasing and getting and letting players go. Landers Noli gone, and then obviously the veteran Prince Odro gone. Prince actually just signed with Montreal. Badger. Yeah, part of that last piece of that championship team from 2022. That's a tough decision, but I mean, again, that to me screams like we mean business, and like as much as you want to make everybody happy, we want to win. And again, that's something that we haven't seen in the last couple of years. I think it was very much, let's just make sure everybody's comfortable and having a good time and this and that. Now it's kind of like, yeah, we do want that, but we want that with the guys that we think will allow us to win. And I'm sure there were probably things behind the scenes there, if I had to guess, that in Prince's best interests, obviously his minutes got cut, this and that, because they have so much talent on this team now that naturally it would be easier for him to say, I want to go play somewhere else. I'm not saying he's saying that, but if it was me, at least I would say I want minutes, right?
Yeah, and if I could touch on that a bit, right? It's the Flower City, so we should give Prince his flowers for everything that he did for the franchise over the last couple of years. And obviously won a championship when the team was in Hamilton. So he's a name that will resonate with the franchise for a long time. Maybe even after he retires and steps away from the game of basketball, they can recognize him because he's been an integral part of the franchise. But, to his credit, he is used to a certain style of brand of basketball to be successful, and that's to post up and play inside out. And the team's moving in a different direction, right? They want to play from the outside, right? They want to play fast. They want to move the basketball. They want to run and gun. And, that's not going to be beneficial to Prince. And, he's at a point in his career where he still wants to contribute, and he can still contribute. And luckily he's found that in Montreal. So I think I don't think there's any sort of, I don't think they're leaving on bad terms. I don't think there's any sour taste left on either side. But I just think that both teams, in order to be beneficial, it just made sense for them to go their separate ways. And again, congratulations to Prince on becoming a father, and he's got this new opportunity to rejuvenate himself in Montreal, and we wish him all the best.
He will be on the coin set one day. He will be on the coin set for this Brampton team one day. He's a leader in many statistical categories in Brampton, including games played. So he was the longest tenured Honey Badger and stand-up fantastic guy as of that. You mentioned bad taste. What about this Scarborough game on Sunday afternoon? Brampton hosts Scarborough right down to the wire. 99-95.
Wait, can we before we get into the actual game, like shout out to the fans. Like this
Yes.
was the most buzzing building of the season, like the most buzz we felt in that building this season. I came as a fan and it was really really cool. I was kicking rocks because I'm like, damn, I would have liked to been sidelined for this game because I could really feel the energy and I really wanted to be a part of it. And then to your point, like this game just end to end, wire to wire, this game lived up to, I think this game lived up to the hope that we had for the first game in Scarborough. Like that's what this is the game that we wanted in that first matchup.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of like a whoa, this is like, let's see what Scarborough's got kind of thing. And then we were like, oh damn, okay, these guys are legit. And then this time around, it's like, okay, now we get some new pieces. We're missing a couple of our big guys, but we'll give it a run. 99-95 was the final. Brampton losing to Scarborough. They had it down the stretch. Trentyn Flowers, 21 points. Justin Hamilton, 17 points. Tyrese Hunter had 21 of his own. This
some sick threes too, including that half-court buzzer beater.
This was a crazy game. I mean, Frank Mitchell was in foul trouble for Scarborough. Tyrell Vernon did a great job of handling the bench. He brought him in, brought him out. He had 4 fouls for like most of the second half, I want to say, and then comes in at the end and hits the target score time winner. This Scarborough team, man, like, look, I love Brampton, but this Scarborough team is crazy good. Like they are like, they're lined up and they're built so perfectly.
The crazy thing to me is they've just won in so many different ways, right? And they've really handled adversity really well on this basketball team. It's just what's shitty is like if you are just going through the box score, or if you're just catching the highlights, like the target score time versus the 4 quarters is just like you can't really compare it because they really blew the tires in that target time. And I really I'm really sad at the result. Like I know Serta won't take moral victories, but like this was kind of a win-win either way, because if they won the game, great, they upset Scarborough with a team that they kind of just been patching together on the fly. But on the other end, right, like you got great performances out of your players, right? They did a great job in the paint. Although Scarborough did score 54 points in the paint, and that's kind of been the Achilles heel of this team. And I think as the season continues to go on, they'll get better in there, especially with Justin and Moncrief and those guys on this team. But what blew my mind and to what you're talking about Scarborough is like, as a fan, I didn't know what the box score looked at. And like when I went home and saw Miles Powell had 28 points, I blew my mind because it was like the quietest 28, but he hits some really, really big shots that kind of make more sense when you think about it in retrospective, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, he's crazy. He is, again, if you haven't been to a CEBL game yet, please go to one because he comes knocking and he answers his own bell every single time. As someone's knocking on my door. Okay, you're gonna kill me, dude. This is like this person's here. There's somebody here. Okay, I don't know what to do. What do we do? Damn it. Okay, give me 1 second.
That's okay. Go take care. We'll come back. We'll back.
Oh my God, sorry. The NBA was knocking on the front door, and they were curious if I wanted a Exhibit 10 contract.
You heard it this summer league?
Yeah, you know what? I said, I'm like, Cam, Sean, I'm coming. Get my shoes out. Candyman.
That was our hydration break. We were talking about soccer earlier. So there you go. That's a segue.
And somehow someone's still gonna comment. I look burned and dehydrated, need more water. I cut you off though. We were talking about Scarborough, Brampton. Correct. Everything was going good. You know what? It's just you know what? I will continue to cut you off here because I do want to make a point on Scarborough. Also, shout out to Brady Heslip, who has been the guy that's put this team together. He was there yesterday, sitting courtside with Jay Triano, which was awesome. Of course, the first and only ever Canadian head coach in NBA history, former Team Canada national coach as well. He did a really cool interview too, talking about the importance of the Canadian Elite Basketball League, and check it out on the broadcast if you can. I'm sure it's on socials. I believe it was posted with Francisca Opong. It was actually right in front of where you were. But these guys, important to the game, and Brady especially important to Scarborough, how he's built this team. And he's been around for a number of years too and stuck with it. So this team is like a 180. Like they don't have a ton of CEBL experience on their roster either. And to have that is is really cool. So I think they also deserve a bouquet of flowers with what they've done.
Flowers in the Flower City. I see what you did there. Yeah, I think just to kind of put a bow on this, if you're the Brampton Honey Badgers, if you're the fans, a lot to take away from this small sample size of 2 games. Um, and it's crazy because there's this is carousel of games between Scarborough, Montreal, Ottawa, and us right now, right? So there's a lot of opportunity to put yourself in a great position. It's interesting when you look at the standings. Scarborough's kind of, I think they've already clinched playoffs. I could be wrong. I swear Jason Tom was telling me that. No, he hasn't. Okay, well they're pretty damn close to it, right? They've got there's a wide margin between games won and games that they've lost this far, and everyone else is still kind of hovering around 500. So Scarborough will continue to build chemistry, add guys. David Mooncat's now starting for this team, which is crazy to think about. Not that they need any more firepower, but if Brampton continues to head in the right direction of the trajectory, they might have some tough decisions to make. Should Sean East, Cam Tyson, even Jameer Nelson, a guy that we've been flirting with, the idea of being on this roster, that this team will have to make if Trentyn and Justin continue to excel with this team and put them in the right direction come playoff time. So I'm taking your job away here. They currently set 8-7 upcoming schedule, Friday at Montreal, which will be a big game. Montreal's lost their last 2, but the last time Brampton played in Montreal, they lost 105-92. So a game I'm sure that they'll want to get back when they head there, and then they'll continue their road trip out that way and play Ottawa on Sunday, who's 7-9, and Ottawa, I'm sure, has some bitter taste left in their mouth after the last game against Brampton as well.
And you know what's awesome too is this just sets up the next meeting between these two teams. Like they have a home and home to end the season, Scarborough and Brampton. So that is going to be a big time game, more particularly for Brampton, who needs that second seed in order to get a home playoff game. So that kind of changes everything with it too, right? Like talking to Lenny Asper after the game, he was saying how he was like, you know what, we played good. And like, I think like not we won the game, but I think we played good enough to win the game. And it was just down to the wire there. We didn't close out the last 3 or 4 runs there that we really should have and put ourselves in a different position. And then I kind of thought to myself, you know what, Scarborough also, like as much as we talk about Sean not being around and Cam not being around because of NBA Summer League and Jameer potentially showing up and the changes that are made. Well, Scarborough was also out without Akoi Uat, who's at NBA Summer League with the New York Knicks. I should know that, my boys. The New York Knicks. Which is crazy to me. And then Amir Sims also is not there either. Betty Ako is at the Canadian qualifiers right now. Like there are pieces there that are going to be added that it's also like, man, like this keeps getting better and better. Like yesterday was a nice, like the amount of people we saw yesterday that came up to us after the game and were like, that was like a good game. Like I'm not upset we lost, but I'm just happy it was a really good game and it went down to the wire and you saw the best flex kind of thing. So again, just a good product for the CEBL as a whole. Solid kind of outcome top to bottom with the game. And I think a lot of people left happy yesterday knowing that they spent their hard-earned money on great basketball product here in Canada.
Yeah, most definitely. Looking forward to the next set of games. And someone, again, they call this a segue in the business, but another person that I'm really, really looking forward to in the upcoming games is Trentyn Flowers. And he's someone that we get the privilege of speaking to. So how about we toss to that?
Let's do it. A very special welcome to our guest, Trentyn Flowers. Trentyn, welcome to the pod. Thanks for joining us, my man.
No, thanks for having me.
All right, I'm going to toss an alley-oop here to D. I'm going to see if we can figure this out for the first question. Ready? Whoop.
Yeah, okay, I'm just going to reverse it here.
Horrible.
But Trentyn, Trentyn, thanks for joining us. You come from Towson, Maryland. What was the basketball scene growing up like in Baltimore?
Yeah, man. I mean, I lived out the early stage of my life. I actually was fortunate enough to go back, played on the Nike YBL circuit for Team Durant. So, I'm going to say it here first. The DMV has the best hoopers in America, in my opinion. Just the style of play. Dudes play hard. They got that Baltimore grit. Baltimore toughness is a real thing. And Yeah, man. I mean, look, the greats are from there. Michael Beasley, Kevin Durant. Shout out my guy Nolan Smith also. So yeah, man. I mean, the list goes on and on of the talent that just came out of there, and it's in my opinion, it's the best hoop state in the world.
Wasn't there a very popular TV show filmed in Baltimore, or like set in
The
Baltimore?
Wire.
The Wire.
Okay,
There
The
you
Wire.
go.
Yeah,
Yep.
The
I don't know
Yep.
what the name. These like
There
the
you go.
You want to talk about
movie and
Baltimore toughness? That show definitely
Crazy.
epitomizes
No,
that.
it is. So yeah, man. Baltimore toughness is a real thing.
Never seen it, but I just hear things about it. One of the things that we see a lot about and we hear a lot about are prep schools in the States. Obviously, D and I being Canadians, they're kind of like, it almost seems like they're movie kind of setups where it's like you get the best of athletes or whoever it may
Right.
be. So you went to Huntington Prep, which is in West Virginia, Sierra Canyon, which is in LA. Huntington Prep, Andrew Wiggins, obviously NBA champ, a guy we know well in Canada. Sierra Canyon, Bronny James, Zaire Williams, and the Jenner sisters, because he is a huge reality TV guy.
Right.
What was the prep school experience like for you? Is it all basketball focused? Is it a mix of kind of everything all around, or how heavy it is the hoop focus?
I mean, I will say, I was Huntington Prep. It was in Huntington, West Virginia. So if you've ever been to West Virginia, there isn't much to do out there. It was kind of in the middle of nowhere, and that was just like a place where I just went to go lock in. I actually wish I was able to spend more time there, but like you said, Andrew Wiggins, Miles Bridges, Josh Primo, like Jonathan Kuminga. Huntington Prep is known for having a long line of like NBA guys and producing talent. Darren Peterson, the number 2 pick, just came out of there. So for me, it's crazy. I went up there, took the visit, just backstory, and kind of just hearing who they had. I just told my parents, like, look, one day if I want to become an NBA player, like and ended up doing it. And man, it was just a great experience. Coach Arkell Bruce, me and him have a great relationship to this day. But yeah, man, like you said, just the best of the best. That was kind of when I got, my first little taste of just prep school basketball. And then for me, going to Sierra Kane, playing alongside Bronny James, also had Amari Bailey there, who played in the NBA, played for the Charlotte Hornets. Kajani Wright was a McDonald's All-American. My boy Isaiah Elohim is going to Virginia Tech right now. So, man, that team was loaded. At the time we had like, I want to say 4 top 20 guys, top 15 guys. And, man, just to be able to go to that school. And, yeah, I mean, look, Drake raps about everyone talks about Sierra Kane. That is probably the craziest environment you can be in, go to, especially living in California too. So Huntington Prep and Sierra Kane was 2 different dynamics. It was crazy.
You've already name dropped so many people, right? You talk about Kevin Durant out in, the area that you grew up in, and obviously, the playing around Bronny and Andrew Wiggins and all these other guys.
I don't know why, but I'm having like a audio issue.
Oh, can you hear us?
My audio just went completely out.
Went out completely?
I can hear you guys now. Yes.
Got it?
It's always me with technical difficulties. I don't know what it is.
Welcome to the club, my friend. Welcome to the club.
All right, okay. We briefly lost you, but you're back again, which is great. You've already name dropped so many people, but I want to talk about the environment at Sierra Canyon, right? Especially when LeBron showed up, it was a circus, and we'd see it and feel it on television. Did you feel an added pressure to perform, or did it almost take the pressure off of you because you knew the attention was on Bronny and some of the other guys?
No, I feel like it takes the pressure off of you, but also like being another guy, you have something to gain for it. So, I always felt like I could never lose anything. I just had something to gain. And, that it was crazy. I remember us going to DePaul, DeMar DeRozan was courtside, G Herbo rapper. We were in Chicago, obviously, so everyone from Chicago was pulling up. And, we sold out a stadium. It was 19,000. Like, everyone wanted to see Bronny play. So, that was just crazy alone. And that was my first ever game I played with them. So, I was a little nervous that game. I'm not going to lie. 17, 18,000. But no, I mean, it was crazy. But also, man, it was great to be around. And, it kind of just, taught me early at a young age, like, this is a business. It means a lot to people, fans, everyone. It just kind of showed me just the aspect of things just a little bit early.
It's crazy that you and Serta share this connection to Bronny, right? Because he coached with South Bay as well. So I don't know if that's ever
Yep.
come up.
So
It is
yeah, so
ironic.
I played with him at South Bend, and also, like I said, I played for Team
Oh,
Durant on
right.
the EYBL circuit. That summer, I also played for Strive for Greatness, LeBron's AAU team too. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, I'm those are my peoples over there, so I'm real familiar with them.
So
Before
are you biased in the GOAT conversation? Are you biased at all just because you had that experience?
I mean, I might be biased, but if not, I've always said LeBron is the best basketball player to ever touch a ball, and it's not even close. So
Mhm.
Wow, that's refreshing. Before we jump a little further in your career here, just a question about Serta. He said to us the other day, in the past in the G League, he obviously knows who you are, and he said he and yourself will share chirps every now and then. He said we'd be playing, and I'd hear him, and I'd think, who's chirping? And it's Trentyn chirping at me from the other side of the floor. What's your relationship like with him so far?
no, man, it's been amazing. You know, like you said, our relationship was built on chirping back and forth at each other because we're both competitors. We both want to win, and obviously, we want to see our teams have success and individual success. Um, I mean, man, he's a great coach. Obviously, just from the X's and O's, you know, I love the way that he thinks. Also, what's really cool is we share very similar things. Like I was with the Clippers. He worked in there. He was worked as a VC video coordinator for them for 2 years, I believe. So he knows all of my old coaches, like, you know, and in the NBA too, just offensively, what they run, South Bay, you know, it's kind of a copycat league. Everyone runs the same thing, same actions, just everywhere in
Mhm.
the world now too. So, I mean, man, it's just been, you know, super easy just to pick up on everything. And also with him too, man, he's just a great leader, you know, very vocal. He tells me what he needs from me. And I mean, man, I just told him I appreciate, you know, him and the organization for this opportunity. And, you know, it's been a great plan for AC so far.
And
No, oh, go ahead.
sorry, yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead, D. Because I got a
I
long-winded
was gonna
one.
say, knowing what you know about the league, right? Like it's like most developmental leagues where there's phases, right? Like you come in
Right.
with an initial roster, then second part of the second phase of this league is bringing in some of the better players because they're overseas or fulfilling commitments elsewhere. Then there's kind
Yep.
of this third part where they go to the summer league and we try to continue to fill out the roster, and that's kind of where you've come in. Talk about the pitch that was made to you, and maybe what did you know about the league? Did you hear rumblings about the league? What enticed you to want to play?
I mean, it's actually funny enough. I've had friends play for Calgary, Scarborough, Ottawa, so kind of already known about the league a little bit, CBL. Um, and man, just kind of just the pitch to me was just, again, Brampton wants to win. I want to win. You know, we seen likewise. We seen a fit in it, and also for me, it was like, I talked about it after the game on my first interview. I've been on the couch for 6 months.
I remember
You know,
that.
I was telling everyone, I had opportunities to go play in Puerto Rico this summer. I've had opportunities to go play elsewhere. Summer league, I had multiple teams that wanted me to come join their summer league rosters. And, for some reason, I was just hesitant on everything, turned down a bunch of opportunities. And ultimately, I just chose this because, I thought it would be best for me and just getting to my next stop. But, man, I mean, I think for me, it's just part of the reason I did that was just being able to play free. I talk about this all the time. Like, you go to different leagues, different teams. Obviously, the NBA is what I'm used to. That's what I'm coming from. Um, you know, roles are a big thing. So, as we can see, I get to have a big role in Brampton. Sean East and Cam are coming back, and I'll be helping them put this thing all together. But I'll be able to help take the pressure off Sean and being able to play alongside a guy like Cam who can stretch the floor. And we also have Ma too and Justin. So just being able to play with everyone and being able to bring what I bring was just a big thing. And you know, that's one reason. Like that was the biggest thing for me was just being able to play my brand of basketball, being able to play free and just having fun. And that's ultimately what I'm having. And I can't wait to see what this team can do when we get all back together.
Fred VanVleet is like the definition of bet on yourself.
Yep.
Obviously, people are familiar with his story in the Toronto area, not getting drafted, and then he turns into like this billion-dollar basketball champion and everything.
Right.
So in a lot of ways, you're very similar, right? I mean, you bet on yourself at a young age. Even now, when you're saying you're making these decisions to kind of choose where you want to play, where you don't want to play,
Yep.
your basketball journey is probably a little less traditional than most. Obviously, you didn't go to college. You were committed to Louisville, then you decommitted. and then you
Right.
went down under to the Adelaide 36ers in
Yes,
Australia to
sir.
play. I botched the accent there, but what was that like to make that decision again, you're only 21 years old, and this was what, 3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah, I think I just turned 18 at the time.
Yeah, like a young age. What was that decision like, and what went into that? Why did you think that was the better route for you?
I mean, man, it was crazy. You know, I'll tell everyone I'm not an NIL baby. So nowadays, you know, I don't know if you guys keep up with the states out here,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
We
you
do.
know, and NIL it's the most money in the world right now, outside of if you're a top guy in the NBA. So, you know, at that time NIL had just came around. You know, I wasn't making any decisions based off money or, you know, what I was gonna, you know, think would be best in that terms. But, you know, for me, I committed to Louisville. You know, I actually ended up going there in the summer. And, you know, ultimately it led to me going overseas to Australia. And I just think for me, it was just like growing up and maturing. Like what everyone doesn't know up to that was all those schools I went to, my parents moved with me everywhere, went everywhere. Like, so I always had the family around. But at some point in my career, I knew I was going to have to grow up and to be able to do things for myself. And just where I was at, you know, with my basketball game, you know, I felt I was ready to make that jump. Now, that season was a bunch of growth and learning for me and developing because I was a fresh 18-year-old playing against grown men. And, you know, that was very tough, you know, especially to adjust to. But, you know, I felt like at times when I was able to show what I was able to have success. But, you know, ultimately, I think it shaped me and helped me in my career because now it's like I can go play anywhere in the world, you know, I can go on a dime to, you know, I moved from LA to Chicago within a week. And that's crazy. That's a big move, you know.
Mhm.
Australia back to the States. So, you know, also for me, it just taught me how to be adaptable and just, you know, being able to just, you know, change my environment and just ultimately be able to grow. So yeah, that was a crazy move. That was a crazy decision in my basketball career.
Your time with the Clippers and Bulls, right? You finished 2 stints on two-way contracts, and then you talk about, you know, the time that you spent sitting on your couch, right, nursing your knee injury. Like, talk
Yeah.
about the adversity and how you were able to, you know, stay positive despite what life had thrown at you.
I mean, man, it was crazy. You know, my first stint with the Clippers, my first year, I actually broke my scaphoid in my hand in training camp. So went up to go dunk on somebody summer league, fell out the air, fell on my hand, and ultimately it costed me like 3 months. So I was going into that season a little bit behind. You know, thank God, you know, I always said the Clippers could have waived me, took me off my two-way because, you know, those contracts aren't really guaranteed until you get to your guaranteed date. And, you know, they told me they believed in me, kept me on it. And, you know, my first year in the G League was also played NBA minutes that year, appeared in multiple games. You know, I averaged 20 and 5 on 40-90, on 50, 40-90 splits as a 19-year-old in the G League. And I was like, whoa, it was crazy. And then, yeah, man, just going to Chicago and that situation, just, you know, just trying to find my way, trying to find my rhythm. You know, I will say it is hard to come in anywhere in the middle of the year. Or for me, I didn't get to do training camp with them. So, you know, I was coming into training camp. I thought I was going to get more NBA minutes, more opportunity my second year because of how well I had played in the G the year before. But ultimately, just with what Chicago had going on, you know, there wasn't, you know, any fit at the time for neither parties. But, you know, for me to also unfortunately just go down with that knee injury in December, January too. You know, it was very defeating. You know, I tell everyone like, until you're out and you can't do what you love, like you don't understand like how much of a blessing it is, or just the attitude of gratitude. Like that's a big thing that I'm really starting to learn and appreciate for myself. But you know, just being able to play a few nights ago on Thursday, like I was like, man, I'm blessed. So, you know, I'm just glad to be back. You know, I told you guys my coping mechanism was playing the game. I was on the game all the time. Like, you know, I was in the gym. Like what you're seeing is from my preparation and what I worked on. But no, man, it's good. But ultimately, you know, one thing I've learned with those injuries too is like, you know, just be grateful for every moment you have, and you know, just in life in general. I think that's just a good principle and saying.
So that's a very mature mindset. I mean, D and I are what, 30-ish, and you've got us beat by a landslide. And you've got 19. So, if you were looking in the mirror right now, Trentyn Flowers, July 6th, 2026. You're talking to Trentyn Flowers, July 6th, 2031. Let's say 5 years down the road. What is your ideal basketball goal, or where would you like to see yourself basketball-wise?
That's actually a great question because I think about that one a lot. Um, I would say I see myself back in the NBA, if I'm being honest with you. I'm only 21 years old. A lot of guys in the second round this year were 24, 25 years old. In college 5, 6 years. I've already played 4 years pro. I'm only gonna get better. Um, after this, I'm gonna probably go overseas and go to a high level, Europe team, Euro Cup, BCL, uh, maybe even EuroLeague. You never know. And I just think the biggest thing is just showing everyone improving, just my consistency, my work. Also I'm maturing every day. I was young when I came into the NBA, but just being able to, show people my habits. I think habits are just a big thing, and that's one of the things that I've just learned from being around all these great players such as Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Chris Paul, Bradley Beal. Like these are all some of my former teammates. Bogdan Bogdanovic too. That's like my big brother. But man, for sure back in the NBA, but also if not, I just want anywhere where I'm at in the world, I just want people to know me that, when I touch that league, I'm dominating. And also, I have a little one too. I have a 3 month old baby. So, I also just want to be known as just a good dad and just a good person. So, that's where I see myself in 5 years.
Well, you don't
Man,
have to worry about that. I think you definitely are. You're definitely your kid's in the right hands for sure.
I
And
hope.
I'm glad you named drop Kawhi. He's back in the city, and maybe you
Max,
can
he's
bring
back
him
in
to
the city,
Brampton
man.
again.
I can't wait. So,
But speaking of Brampton, we probably should have led with this. But on Thursday, you have the absolute craziest story. We talked about this in the post game interview. But you fly out of Seattle at 8 a.m. You arrive roughly around 3:30, 4 o'clock. Like you get into the building 2 hours before
I
the
got to the
game.
building at 5. It was like 5:30 when I got to the building. It was
And
it was like 5:45 ish.
and Serta told us like you were gonna play 2 minutes because you weren't feeling that great. I don't know if it was the flight
Yeah,
or something maybe you ate on the way. But
yeah,
there was no certainty that you were gonna play the minutes that you did, and then you
yeah.
absolutely flourished in that game. I mean, what was the turning point? When did you realize like, nah, there's no minute restrictions on me. I'm going full tilt. And talk about that day.
Man, so I woke up 5 a.m. Had to, I have my fiance with me. We have our child. So bringing along everyone. We were in the airport. We have to bring the stroller, the carrier. This is our first time ever traveling with anyone but ourselves, or especially myself. I'm used to going everywhere alone. So, I'm going on places, and I'm like, man, we're talking to each other. We're like, this is hard now. And we ended up getting in Toronto. I slept the whole flight, so I had to catch up on my rest. And we get in. We're going through customs. Customs is taking forever. So I get in at the time I'm supposed to get into 3:45, and I'm looking at it 20 minutes away from the gym. I'm like, cool. I'm gonna be there 4:15, 4:30 ish, whatever. Nah, that's not how that happened. So everything got pushed back. We get in, so much traffic. It's 5 o'clock. It's like rush hour. So it's
Welcome
four or
to
five
Toronto.
o'clock. Rush hour. Oh yeah, traffic was crazy. So we're trying to get in, and yeah, it's not. The traffic isn't having it. So we have to go a different way. End up cutting off like 10 minutes. Thank God, because there wasn't traffic this way. And yeah, I mean, I get there right before. I have to go through all my stuff, so my physical, concussion protocol, just all the stuff you have to do to be cleared. I did everything. And man, they're bringing me like Shelby shawarma right before the game. And I'm
oh,
like, I'm like,
That's
I'm like, I'm about to throw up if I don't eat something because I ate breakfast in the morning. I ate on the plane, but obviously just from sleeping and the travel, like you burn calories real quick. I just wasn't feeling good. So I tell coach before the game, I'm doing my pregame warm up. I'm like, man, I'm not feeling good. I don't know. And they're all like, look, man, doc, everyone's talking to me like, look, if you don't want to play, you don't have to play. Coach is like, look, I can put you in for the 4 minutes, see how you feel, and we can just go from there. And then I seen the jersey and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm a big person. Like I told you, I hadn't played. I like to stay present in the moment. And I was like, I can't have a what if moment. Like, what if I didn't play? I know Brampton, we need this win. So I was like, man, let me go out here. I went out there. Thank God the ball came back to me on that play. when the dude swiped it and it just landed in my hands to get the dunk, I got comfortable, and then the rest is gonna be history. So that was by far the craziest day of travel ever. I said never again will I ever fly on a plane and play a game the same day, unless like crazy circumstances is the only way I'm ever playing. But no, man, I'm so glad that I played in that game. It was good to be back out there. We won too, which was really huge for us. And yeah, man, that's gonna be a story like I tell everyone one day. So it was an amazing experience.
I don't think I've ever, like I said this to the guys the other day. I don't think I've ever seen anyone warm up for a game when the lights were almost out for like the pregame intro stuff. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I'm like, did no one pay the electrical bill? Or is like Trentyn warming up here and like he's late? Like what? And then we realized you were throwing back Shelby shawarma in the back room there and trying to sort out your passport stamps and then get everything figured out. And then you're doing layups 2 minutes later. It's like, what is going on here?
I was scrambling. Like, yeah, coach told me, he's like, look, you're on the floor. You don't got to watch film. He was like, just get shots up, see how you feel. Like, just get ready for the game. Because I'm like, I got to shoot the ball at least before I go out and play,
Yeah,
so
100%.
Nah, they did a great job of just adjusting. And, man, that's just one thing I will say just about my adaptability. Like, I can play under any circumstance, any league. I played everywhere in the world. And I can play under any role, and I think that's the great thing about basketball. It being, what I want to call a real hooper. Real hoopers can, do what they need to do whenever you roll the ball out, whenever, wherever. So, I just say that's a testament to my work.
Absolutely. Well, D, do you have anything else? I feel like that was like everything in 20 minutes was great.
It was. The only question I have is you've just been thrown it down with no hesitation. And you talked about how you suffered an injury based on flying high. Like, I mean, did you ever expect it like just kind of be like, is it kind of just like, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is right now. Like, it's just there's no regard for your safety at this point. It just seems like the light is green. There's no yellow or red for you.
He's smiling too. Nah. He's smiling. He knows.
No, there's not. When I was in Seattle, I was able to work with a really good physio. So he got me back 125% healthy. And also too, man, I mean, again, I put in so much work just from, I had this dude named John, Verity Movement, shout out him. Also this dude named Steven Sweet, my guy Conleth Jackson. Those were like the big trainers that were really involved in my development, just me just getting better. With some of them I worked on off the court, but then also on the court too. And I had a team around me when I was out. So, it was really helpful, and, everyone helped me get back to where I needed to. And if I'm gonna be honest, I'd say I feel more explosive than I did before.
Damn. Okay.
So I mean, I didn't notice it, but the lob I caught yesterday, all my teammates and everyone told me, like, they were like, and even the dude on the other team said, "Yo, your head was at the rim, right?"
Yeah,
I was like, I didn't know. So, my body feels great, the knee feels great, but it's just from all the hard work and just having great people around that know what they're doing. So
that is something. So now we know never to get into a jumping contest with you, but what we will get into with you is target time. We're gonna get into it now. D, you ready? Trent, you ready?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. All right, time now for target time here on the Target Score Brampton podcast. It is the slowest and most relaxed form of rapid fire you will ever see. All right, Trenton, I'm going to lead us off here. Keeping with the partial Aussie roots, a little Mitch Creek action here. What's something that us Canada folk would be stunned by when visiting Australia? And I feel like the gimme is like the insects and animals.
Not just Canada in general. I was gonna say the insects and the animals, spiders and the kangaroos.
Spiders and kangaroos. Isn't everything poisonous in Australia?
Yeah. If you see it, just err on the side of caution out there. So I would say the insects.
Toilet. I've heard horror stories about shit just coming up. I don't know if I'm allowed to give cuts on this podcast.
What?
Stuff coming out of the pipes up through the toilet.
Hey, look, it's all good.
Bro, you're eating too much Shelby. That's what it is. You're eating too much
I mean, dude, like, they don't believe in like pesticides or like I'm used to having like somebody come out and spray my house for bugs. Like my parents were always big on that with our houses growing up. They don't do that out there. So, you know, you might see a big spider just like crawling on your roof, like above you. And it's like, whoa, what's going on
We're
here?
not in Baltimore anymore.
Facts. So no, that'll shock anyone.
Oh my God. Okay. No,
all right.
thanks. All right.
Speaking of being shipped out, okay, we've identified that you're a big video game fan. So you're being shipped out to an island, right? You're gonna take your favorite console with you. What are the 3 games that you need to take? What are essential for you to survive out there?
Okay, I'm gonna take Arc Raiders, Call of Duty, and I never liked football until I started watching and started playing a video game with a few of my boys, but college football.
That happened to me too. Oh, college football. I thought you were going to say Madden.
Nah, college football. I love Madden, but college football is more fast-paced, and the way my brain works is a little bit more fast-paced, so Madden feels too slow for me sometimes.
So then, a follow-up question. Are you a Ravens fan, and then what college team are you affiliated with?
So I'm actually not a Ravens fan.
Oh.
I am...
I can feel
I'm a cheesehead because of my mom. My mom's from Wisconsin.
Okay.
Oh.
So I'm a big Green Bay Packers fan. Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre. Those were the days right there.
I was scared you were going to somebody in the division. I thought you were going to be like Steelers or Bengals.
Nah.
The way you were conflicted, I was scared for you.
No chance. But actually, I will say I am a LA Chargers guy, just because I lived in LA. I lived across the street from SoFi. I used to go to all the games, especially preseason, and with my teammates. And man, we had a great time. So I'm kind of split within 2, but thank God they're both in different divisions. So yeah,
Not bad at all. All right. Al Whitley knocks on your door one day and he says, Trentyn, we're going to play a game outdoors. Don't worry, it's a good knock on the door. We're going to play a game outdoors. Where in the world would you want to play it?
Hawaii.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Hawaii. Let's say Hawaii.
Have you been to Hawaii?
I have. Clippers' first ever my training camp there was with them. My first ever training camp was in Hawaii.
Is it as
Man,
humid?
not a bad way to spend your August.
Not a bad way at all. It was like late August, early October. It was fine. It was a nice trip. Or no, it was September. End of September, early October. End of September, early October is when we went out there, so it was crazy.
Is it like super hot there?
When we went, it was hot, but man, the ocean, the water is so nice. Like, it's so tropical too. Man, shopping galore. Like, you just walk down the street, you see every shop. You know, me and my fiance love to shop, like things. So man, it was a nice trip.
Was there a cool retreat you guys did? Whether it was like go see a volcano or I don't know, maybe you all tossed on grass skirts or something like that.
No, so actually,
he's sitting there
because I was a rookie. I wanted to, but it was mandatory for us to go back to the gym and work out twice.
Right.
So I'm at training camp in the morning, and then I go back, get a shooting workout, and then sometimes we would even have something at night. So it was a little my time was a little clogged up, but I mean, man, like I said, again, we got to walk around a little bit, you know, got to do a bunch of things, but you know, if I go back, they have like a Jurassic World safari little thing out there. So I'm a big Jurassic guy, so I think that would be something dope to do.
I was just looking for my Jurassic Park sweater. It's somewhere around here, but I'm a
really?
dino head too. Yeah, I'm obsessed, man. I'm a nerd when it comes to that stuff.
Oh wow.
A long way from Hawaii, going back to Baltimore, but Maryland, Baltimore. What's the best kept secret about home?
I'm gonna say the food.
Yeah, people are sleeping on it.
Shout out hip hop. Fish and chicken, fried fish and chicken.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, like man, I'm from the South, so you know I also grew up in Atlanta too, and I love the soul food, just all in the South. So man, you know, Baltimore, they got the fried fish, they got the chicken, and yeah, man, you gotta go. It's called hip hop. Gotta go.
Okay, for sure.
Have to
We're gonna have to
go.
put you on some of the best fried spots here in the city as well.
Nah,
We'll
you
put on
have
the
to.
sidebar.
You have
Yeah,
to.
we'll get you on that.
I was going to
Perfect.
say, head coach Shurda told us the other day that he liked going to Earl's, I think it was.
I just
Thank
went.
Or yeah, okay, so he's got you onto this because I
just
thought
went.
the
He
other
just put me
day
on the
was-
Earls.
Yeah, like
They need
you've
to
been-
start cutting some checks, eh? The amount of times he talks about Earls.
Right?
day,
They
and
need
I
to. We
walked-
need the sponsorship.
Man, I walked in there the other day and I'm like, hey, like I'm like Alex Serda, and they're like, yeah, sit outside. So I'm like, what the hell's going on here? He's got to work his magic here. But so Earl's what was your first impression?
Man, it was food was really good. We actually got it one night. We were gonna go right back the next day for lunch. We ended up not going, but we're probably gonna eat there tonight. So
Okay, nice. You have to get Mike Gerling. He's like the Cactus Club hookup, I think, based on
Oh,
the
really?
Instagram stories I see. You got to
Okay.
try Cactus Club. It's on Adelaide, downtown Toronto.
okay,
That's like
perfect.
yeah, they peach bellinis, everything you can. I mean, that's a soft drink. D probably likes that. I
Yeah.
love those drinks. They got a bunch of frozen summer drinks that are good. So again, we should
Perfect.
sponsors popping up here and everything. We're driving.
Come on now, need
driving
them.
money here. Okay, enough of the food for now. You have mentioned a bunch of really awesome, high-profile basketball names. You obviously probably have basketball idols. Dee's gonna get into that in a couple of minutes, but you have insane hair. Who are your hair idols? And I looking at you and I'm thinking like Ben Wallace, the Lopez brothers. Like who do you
The
who do you
Lopez
groom
brothers.
your hair after? Because it's probably the most like creative and cool looking set of hair in the CEBL.
Thank you.
I don't know how you play with it, bro.
You know
That's the
what's
most
crazy?
impressive feat.
You know what's crazy? A lot of people ask me. They actually usually always say something about my hair. That's like one of the first things I ever get. That's actually a tough one. I've never thought about somebody else's, but let me think though.
It's just the Trentyn Flowers. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, I love the Lion King growing up, so it's kind of dark right
He's
now.
my best friend. I'm gonna pull up. Just you guys keep talking.
He's never gonna come
Perfect.
back.
I love the Lion King, but man, I just like Simba, like
Yeah.
you know, just his hair. Also, I usually have mine like lighter. You know, I've had highlights if you go back and look.
Yeah.
I haven't re-dyed it in a long time, but yeah, no, I like Simba. It just kind of reminds me.
This literally came in the
Oh
mail today.
man,
This literally showed up today. I kid you not. I got the proof. I got the receipts. It showed up today.
nah, that's fire. Hey man, you gonna have to tell me where you got that from. I'm gonna need one too.
I got you. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I'd say Simba. I know that's a character. Hair wise, who has crazy hair?
That's the thing.
I mean,
Like,
you
I feel like
mentioned
guys in the
Ben Wallace,
NBA, yeah, like Ben Wallace, like the Lopez brothers, I think had, but now
Lopez.
it's harder.
Yeah, like I mean, right? I know they used to wear the hair. They used to wear it with the hair tie. I put my hair back. I wear it with the hair tie too. So you could actually say them because I did watch them a lot, especially Chicago too, when they were rolling with Derrick Rose back in the day. But yeah, man, I feel like most guys in the league, and that was kind of the reason why I just wanted my hair to be out. Crazy was like everyone just kind of looks the same, you know, braids or waves, have their hair back, low hair. Like I don't know, I've always wanted a lot of hair since I was young. I used to have a low cut. My parents used to make me cut it. I hated it, and then once I got out on my own, I was like, man, I'm gonna grow it out. So yeah, that's what I've done, and yeah, my hair just kind of does its thing, and I just let it, and then I take care of it sometimes, but I let it do its thing. And yeah, man, it just turned out like this. So I've had this for a few years now, and it's kind of just been my thing.
Yeah, I just did a quick search. Like Michael Beasley went through a phase
Right.
when he had the band as well. Jeremy Sohan had it at some point.
Oh,
as
he
well.
did. He
did
had
the
that
green, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Man.
So you might need to add some color to take it to the next level.
Right. I know. It's that time, If we make the playoffs, when we make the playoffs, actually, I'm gonna re-dye it. and then when we win the chip, I might just go crazy. So
I love that. Matt's mentioned some of the big names that you've already name dropped. I was, going through your IG, and one of my favorite photos is of you and Chris Paul with your backs faced.
yeah.
One of my players growing up as well. What did you take away from a Chris Paul? Do you have any crazy stories about CP3? I know he's always had an impact in anywhere he goes, whether it's on or off the court.
Yo. Nah, I mean, look, man, Chris is a great guy. He's very genuine. I feel like that's why you'll see people sometimes speak negative things. People hate real. So Chris is a real guy, and that's one thing I've always really, really rocked with him and respected. Even from me just being a kid in high school. When I went to school in North Carolina at Combine Academy, Chris was actually him and his brother, because his brother runs his AAU program, CP3, AUYBL team. Before I reclassified, because I skipped my senior year of high school to go to the University of Louisville, that summer you play basketball your U17 summer. So I was supposed to play for his AAU team. And his brother would call, like, yo, come play with us. And man, I ended up not playing with him, but look at how God and the universe works. We end up becoming teammates.
Wow.
So, man, for him, like, he was really crucial in my development, this past summer, like, just pulling me and like another young guy, Kobe Sanders, shout out my dog. He just got paid for the LA Clippers, just signed an extension. But, yeah, man, I mean, he was pulling me and him in the gym, working us two out, having us train with him. Again, I told you we were going to the Chargers game. Chris owned the suite for both Chargers and the Rams, and all the concerts. Me and my fiance went to the Lil Wayne concert with him and his family. Chris is a great guy. He's helped me tremendously. Also in my basketball game too. I'll never forget how he had me working out with his guys, and he was a really good trainer, and he would just stop every second. And one thing that he just took away was like, yo, the name of the game in basketball is draw two, and either make a play or make a play for somebody else. And yeah, I mean, look, man, that was just one thing I took away. But it was super cool for me to be around him and to be able to spend like his last years with him. So I was super excited that I got that opportunity, and man, it was just a valuable connection too.
He always has that super cool clip. I think it's like one of the most like tugs on your heartstrings, where it's like, I think he was in high school, and I think his grandfather passed away, and he's shooting the free throw, and he just like tossed the last one away to. Yeah, that was like, oh my gosh. Every time I see that, I'm like, man, I love this guy. And it's cool to say like everybody hates real, or like
he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's the greatest point guard of all time. Like, he's a true point guard, true floor general. And yeah, I mean, the reason I said it is like, I was on something last night, and I don't know, somebody was saying it was someone who played in the league actually, who was a teammate of his. I'm not gonna say his name, but he didn't really rock with Chris like that. And it's like, okay, cool, that's for your own reason, but nah, he's a good, genuine dude. So I rock with him, man.
Yeah, he deserves his flowers for sure.
Nah, he does.
Okay, I have a pun intended, I guess. I have a three-parter here for you, and you can answer these quickly if you want.
Okay.
One, what's your vertical?
I tested it 3 years ago at the 3 years ago at the combine. It's 42. It was 42 at the time, 42 inches. If I had to guess now, I'll probably say
probably like 80 inches.
Man, in the game, I'm more of an adrenaline type of guy, adrenaline jumper.
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
Just wait. Once you see, like, once I get back in shape and my legs get under me, like, I still feel like I'm jumping really low right now. So,
what?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably jump a 45, 46 when I'm good.
Jeez. Okay, so that's pretty darn good, I would say.
Yeah.
Who is your dunk comparison? Who would you compare yourself to dunk-wise?
Dunk-wise? Man, I'm kind of a mix between a power dunker and like flashy too. I would say
Can I take a guess here?
Yeah, take it.
I was gonna say Zach LaVine.
You were gonna say Zach LaVine?
I was gonna say LaVine. That's
Perfect.
crazy.
Zach LaVine. But like the cool thing about me is a lot of guys can only plant and jump one way or one other way. I can dunk off all plants in my right and my left, and I'm just as good as a jumper off one and off two. So, you know, that's something that I would say that I've been blessed with, and is cool because a lot of guys can only jump off 2 feet or 1 feet, and I can jump off both. So, yeah.
Okay, last one for you here. D is 5'2". How many
Hey,
Ds,
come on, 5'4", man.
How many Ds if you think you lined them all up and then took off the dunk? How many Ds at 5'4" do you think you could clear?
Yo, you be careful here, okay?
yeah, he's very worried, D.
Remember, I get to ask you the questions during game day, so you know. Don't
So like they're all just standing up like side,
like lined up, like front to back, and then you have to clear them. Like so, let's say like you know when Blake Griffin dunked over that car, it's kind of like you're clearing a bunch of Ds and then going to the. I guess 7. That's a lot, but I guess 7.
I can't believe I'm sitting here taking this right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like 7, but I would have to jump over like a footer first because it would make me jump higher. Like I would have to jump over somebody like taller to like really clear him. So yeah, no, if there's like a 7-footer and like
I gotta
like
get on all fours and then you gotta
6
hop
more
off
of him, yeah. Like look, if we stack you up kind of like a chair or like a table, yeah, I'll be good. But
disrespect. Oh my
god. Probably 4. I'm gonna say like 3, 4.
Yeah, let's go 4.
Okay.
4 final answer.
Let's go 4.
All right. Well, now we know what we're gonna get you to do in the next post game interview. We know what we're gonna get.
I bet.
Okay, my last question. Our last question for this rapid fire. A Mount Rushmore. I've done this like with 3 different guests because we had Keon, so we talked about rebounding. We had Tyson, we talked about 3-point shooting. Obviously, we talked about dunks. Who's your Mount Rushmore of dunkers? 4 of the best.
Mount Rushmore: Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon, another one of my teammates. So when I mean I've been blessed with just the connection to people. Derrick Jones Jr.
Oh, okay.
He's insane. Derrick is insane. And let me see, I got one more. I'm gonna say it's my teammate in the G League, Mac McClung.
Oh, McClung, yes, of course. But he's won
Mac
3 of them now, hasn't he?
That's like he's up there with just at his size, like man, he just does some incredible things. Like I've never seen anything like it. So
you mentioned Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine. We had probably the greatest dunk contest of all time in 2016, and it was in Toronto. Do you think it ended the right way?
Yes.
Okay, I know there's a lot of conversations that maybe
I think Aaron Gordon should have got to 50, so they kept it going. So one more round. But I mean, Zach LaVine, just the stuff that he was doing, like we've never seen anybody do dunks like that. I will also say though, Aaron Gordon with the mascot on the hoverboard, spinning, doing that, and then one dunk I've always wanted to recreate was when he jumped over the mascot and he went under his legs.
Yes.
Oh,
that's like one of the most iconic photos.
That was crazy. That's like one of my favorite dunks of NBA, just dunk contests all the time. Yeah, I mean, look, it's crazy. Like, I just remember, watching that with my dad and just being like, I pray I'm able to do this stuff one day. And, if I practice it, most of the stuff I can do, and I'm fortunate enough to do. But yeah, I mean, dunk contest is probably the hardest thing you could do because like what most people don't know is I actually tried to do it my first year with the Clippers because I was throwing down some crazy dunks in the G, but they ended up going with Mac instead. He ended up winning. So
yeah, that's crazy.
That was crazy. I was literally hitting my team, asking my GM every day, like, please just let me know what the league office says. Like, I really want to do this. And funny enough, like they took Mac, but you do it cold, so you're not warm. Also, everything is advertisement money. These dudes get paid to do it, but a lot of them, will wear a different brand shoes to go jumping, so you got a different feel. And also the basketball too. Like the ball matters when you're dunking a basketball. So some of them shoes who use the AT&T ball, or like some of the balls that the NBA has, or you can just use a regular league ball, but some dudes do it for the more money. So like there's a bunch of different factors into the dunk contest on like how you could win. You know, obviously, you know, it's a nice grand prize, all that, but nah, it's a bunch of different factors just on the whole entire thing and like variables. So it's crazy.
I was gonna say and the thing that gets underestimated is, you know, when you talk about 2016, when you talk about when Vince won it, those guys all did their dunks on one try, right? Because once you top the try 2 or 3 times, it takes away the whole mystique of the finish, right? So that's the harder part too.
Yeah, that's you know, D and I have been big advocates for getting a CEBL dunk contest. So we hope that one day you will be in that. And
they need to listen to you guys. Yeah.
Maybe one day someone will listen. That'll be it.
Right. I need to do it.
Hey,
so.
we appreciate you listening, hanging out, and chatting with us, Trentyn. Obviously, we're super happy to have you here in the Brampton community and on the Honey Badger squad. And best of luck on Friday against Montreal. And thanks again for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for having me.
Woo! That is a wrap on episode Turn the 6 Upside Down. It's a 9 now. Man, D, special thanks to our guest, Trentyn Flowers. I mean, I learned a couple things. Huge video game guy, probably the nicest dude ever. Coolest hair. What did you learn from our guest?
You know, with these players, and we briefly talked about this, you never know if these situations are sort of a pit stop, you know, to carry the tide over till the players come back, you know, East, Tyson, all that sort of stuff. But he sounds like he's really committed to seeking this thing out. And the camaraderie and the chemistry that he's built in a short amount of time has him really optimistic about this basketball club. And, you know, there was a dark time for us as Honey Badgers fans for 5 games, that stretch where they lost. And so I'm reinvigorated. I'm excited again, man. I can't wait.
So you're telling me I can put my all black dress shirt and suit away and we're not mourning anymore?
Yeah, we can throw that back in the closet. Let's go back to the all whites.
Burn that puppy. You know what you can look forward to, though, is Honey Badgers on the road on Friday in Montreal, taking on the Alliance at the Verdun Auditorium. And you can also look forward to new episodes every Wednesday here with us with new guests. You can follow Target Score Pod on Insta, Target Score Pod on YouTube. Catch all the fun content. Thanks for joining us today, and we will see you on